Jeepers creepers. Oh, why is my screen so blurry? Phew. What's up, buds? Did you tell me something you learned this week? Yes, sirree, Bob. No, sirree. No, sirree. Okay, I made the poll. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I'm back and I'm back and I'm better. I'm gonna use this ice cream to prop my phone up so that I can drink some water. Okay. Stay hydrated, my friends. Nothing better than some H2O. You know, I miss doing lives in the other room with the TV on. In this room, I gotta sit here and wait for people to show up with no TV. I don't have the TV on. So unfortunately, if no one's talking, I'm very not entertained. Very not entertained. Chat wasn't showing, had to pop out, then back in. That's weird. Very weird. What's going on, bro? How you doing? What you got going on today? Did you spend some time with your girlfriend? This is the weekend. Bronson Hayes. Hi, what's up? How you doing? Did you learn some stuff? I feel like it's impossible for you to not learn stuff having conversations with her. Oh, I gotta filter the chat to show all messages, or else people's messages won't show up. Every day. That's good, man. It's an everyday process. Ronaldo or I'm guessing you meant Messi. I will go with Messi. Am I for sale? No. I would never sell anything about myself except my personal training services. My nephew's a Dallas Cowboys fan. I haven't heard from him all day. Yeah, it's not a good day for Dallas Cowboys fans, man. She said votar. I was lost until she said vote. You know, it's funny. The B and the V are the same sound in Spanish, so that's that could easily be misunderstood. Ronaldo's better, but it's fine. That's a personal opinion. I get why you say that though. I like Ronaldo. Ronaldo's in amazing shape. He's always well conditioned, super athletic. One of my favorite videos of all time is a video of him running, jumping stupid high in the air, and getting a header. Like he's looking, he's running, and he jumps, and he's like, poof. And I'm just like, bro, the fact that he could see the ball in the air, run to where it was gonna be, jump that high, and make contact with his head, crazy, bro. The athleticism is out of this world. Elaborate on the personal training services. Well, it's probably for the last 8 years, I've trained people online. I'm a strength and conditioning coach in person too, but at some point in time, my Instagram grew to be as popular as it is, and people say, "Hey, bro, can you make me a program? Can you make me a program?" And I say, "Yeah." And so I just made it a business, and so I run a personal training business online on top of the stuff that I do in real life. John, hello, bro. How are you doing? Hey, we respect you, bro, and love you. Thanks for respecting me and loving me. I don't know who we is, but thanks to y'all. I really wish I had. I need to stop playing around and buy another tripod. I left my tripod in Colombia, and I haven't bought a new one. So I've been holding my phone for the live streams. Pretty insane thing to do. Fortnite Luke, what's up? How's my weather been? Horrible. I'm in Texas. It's hot every single day. Caleb R. Caleb R. Hi, how you doing? Yo, Fortnite Luke, are you good at Fortnite? Because if you're not extremely good at Fortnite, that would be crazy to call yourself Fortnite Luke. It's just Caleb. Well, it's not just Caleb because you put an R after it. So you're Caleb. Brr. Caleb. Brr. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Caleb? Something in my eye. I think I'm only gonna be on here for an hour tonight, guys. I'm not feeling like doing an extremely long live stream. What are some of the most meaningful friendships or relationships you've had over the years? That's a very weird question. I'm not exactly sure what you're looking for with that question. I think all of my relationships with my family are meaningful, right? I'm married, so the relationship me and my wife have is meaningful. But when you say what are some of the most meaningful friendships or relationships you've had, it sounds like, how do I describe it? Like if I asked my best friend that, it would kind of make sense, right? Because he could say someone's name and I could say, oh yeah, because you guys blah blah blah. But for someone that doesn't know me to ask that, it's like I don't know how to explain it to you. I can only tell you. What if I told you like, oh, my most meaningful relationship has been with my best friend? What would that really mean to you? Because you don't know my best friend. You don't know anything that we've been through. You get what I'm saying? That's a good question. It's just strange. Jack, shouldn't you be focusing on repenting instead of being on YouTube telling other people to repent? I feel like if you really think he's coming back soon, you should be getting your stuff in order. I'm not worrying about us. SC9, what's your real name? Caleb's last name starts with an R. Caleb, your last name is Robertson. How do you define success now compared to when you were younger? I guess that would depend on how far back we go. I'll say for the last 10 years or so, my definition of success has probably been the same. But when I was really young, of course, because I'm a man, I was like, I need to be a professional athlete. I need to be rich. I need to make this much money. I need to blah, blah, blah. And that was success in my head. But probably like when I turned 18 or so, once I like actually got out into the world and formed my own worldviews and stuff, I realized that I don't want any of that. Like, I don't want to be rich. I do want to be married, which I am, and I do want to make an impact in as many people's lives as I can. Like, any chance that I have, not necessarily touch 1,000 souls, right? But if there's two people that I can help, then I want to help them as much as possible. So that's success to me. As long as I'm living my best life every single day, that's success. Ricketson, I would have never got that with 5 more guesses. Maybe Richardson. That's what I would have said. I would have said Robertson, then Richardson, then I would have said Robinson. I would have never said Ricketson. Where's that? Where's that even from? D, what's up, bro? Ricketson. Have I ever heard the last name Ricketson before? Let me think. From all the things that I know about last names, what bloodline would that be? Ricketson. I don't know. The first one. Well, it can't be the first one because it's the son of Ricketts. Who's Ricketts? Where did Ricketson come from? Someone else has that name. It's an interesting last name. I think having a unique last name is really cool. People can find you easily. If you ever have any family things going on, people can say, I know for sure that's my family because I'm American. I mean, I figured, but still. I'm gonna look up the etymology of your surname tonight. It should feel very special. You're gonna be the subject of one of my obsessive Google searches. And I'm gonna be Googling all night about how the surname Ricketson came to be. I love searching stuff like that. But SC9, I asked, what's your first name? I really want to know. Well, the reason I asked you about your name is because I wondered what inspired the SC9. I thought it was Scorpio 9. Is the H pronounced? Is it like Fadhel or is it Fadel? Or I guess it could be Fadel. Fadhel. I never heard that name either, actually. I'm getting. What vibes is your name giving off? You said the first one. I don't remember what I said first. I said it with an H first, right? Fadhel. Where's that name from? Y'all are coming up with some interesting names in the chat tonight. We got a whole little melting pot here. Caleb, son of Rickett. Caleb, I can't wait to look up Ricketson. Okay, I'm kind of over this ice cream now. Guess my age is under 15. Bro, what are you doing on YouTube at 9 o'clock at night? It's time for bed. But everybody under the age of 15 is 12, so you're 12. You are 12 years old, sir. But if you're under 15, that makes sense that you don't know about your last name. You haven't made it to the age where your family says, okay, it's time to bestow upon you the knowledge of our ancestors. When you turn 16, your family's going to sit down and tell you why they're called Ricketson and the superpower that you have. So, 6 years, bro. This is the best water I've ever tasted. That means I'm extremely dehydrated. What's up, dude? Everyone. Axa Molina, that's my wife. Purified drinking water. I had a really tough workout today, so I'm definitely dehydrated. I think this might taste so good because the ice cream I just had, it's putting a little taste on it. I like it. Do you know where my... Oh, you're saying, do you know where my name comes from? No, I don't. But I would guess somewhere in the Middle East, maybe. But I'm guessing you're also gonna tell me. Probably. You like my YouTube? Thanks, bro. Yeah, Rob, at least he's honest. I can respect that. All right, y'all. What we talking about? What we talking about tonight? 1 second. Let me put my ice cream away. Woo, man. So what part of the Middle East? That's the question. Dang, this don't have enough back support. Hold on. Oh. Okay, that's better. That is better. No one told me anything that they learned this week. Actually, Rob did tell me that he learned the word botar. But no one else told me something that they learned this week. Let me check the poll. 10 votes, 40% said yes. So that means 4 people voted yes. So at least 4 people should have told me something that they learned this week. And that has not happened. You guys are breaking the rules. You can't just vote yes and not tell me something that you've learned. That is illegal. And I will find you. And you'll be punished. Everyone that's watching, sub. Only if you're cool. Only if you're going to be an active participant. I like people that talk. I'm still waiting on Fathel to tell us where he's from, or at least where his name comes from. Giselle in the chat, what up? Welcome to this big group of people today. If you guys don't know Giselle, she's a master of bilingualism. And I say that every single time that she comes into the chat. She's bored. Giselle, if you're bored, what you should do is you should let Rob, who is RXM98, ask you something about Spanish. Rob, Giselle is from Colombia and she is a professor. She's super, super smart. How long have I been making YouTube videos? I don't even know, to be honest. Like I've been this is a second YouTube channel. But I've been on YouTube like for a really long time. I was on Instagram when Instagram like came out, bro. I'm old. You were probably a baby. You might not have even been born. Yeah, Rob, you should ask if you have any questions about, let me think. How do I describe this? Maybe connotation type questions, right? Because there's some things that only a native could tell you. Me and Giselle were actually talking about something similar yesterday with the word exigent. Because you can look up the definition of a word, but it doesn't actually tell you what people feel about the word in a day-to-day situation, right? Kind of like we were saying in the group chat. Like the way we say indeed in the South is not how it's not that if you look up the word indeed in the dictionary, um, you will not figure out how we say indeed in the South. Yes, indeed. What? Edwin's in the chat too. Edwin is another Colombian. We got mad Colombians in the chat tonight. Why did Giselle delete these comments? You're 5% Irish. Oh yeah, you definitely are a leprechaun. That's the family secret that you're gonna find out when you're 16, bro. Edwin, how are you liking that new job? It's probably not new anymore. It's been like 4 or 5 months, right? From Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Syria and Egypt, bro. How you from everywhere in the world? This guy is the Middle East. The Giselle didn't like your comment. She deleted it. So technically, we never figured out what you learned. That's funny. Yeah, bro, because it's bedtime. You should be asleep already. You probably have school tomorrow, I'm guessing. What month is it? Is school in? Yeah, you definitely have school tomorrow. Go to sleep, bro. Good, good. Thanks for asking. Edwin, have you been working on your English? Have you been doing anything to increase your English? What's new in my life? There's not much new in my life, man. I'm getting better physically. I've been recovering. Your school is closed. Why? What happened? It can't be snow. Well, actually, I guess it depends on where you're from. It could be snow. Or unless you were in a hurricane. What's the weather like in Texas now? It's hot. It's always hot. I live in Central Texas, so it doesn't really change here until early January. It'll get cold for like 1 month and then it goes back. No winter? No, it's Texas. This is if you go like up north, to like where Dallas is, they get snow sometimes. But I live in the center of Texas. The temperature doesn't change for the most part. Like I said, in January, it gets colder, but it doesn't actually get cold like that. The hurricane made people take a lot of gas. That makes sense. So when did they say they're gonna open it back up? And I'm guessing you live in Florida, right? My kids want to go to Disney again. Yeah, Disney's a once in a lifetime thing for me. I have no desire to ever go back there. Disney's like one of those things that sounds really cool, and it probably is really cool for people that have never been there, but it's just you just go outside and just get cooked all day. Just walking in the sun. I actually just saw a meme about Disney World, but it's not gonna be funny if I say it, so I can only be there when it's cold. I didn't even know Disney World got cold. Wait, Disney World or Disneyland? You talking about Florida or California? Which one is Disney World? I don't remember. Disney World is Florida. Disneyland is Cali, I think. I need a Californian to tell me. Rob, which one is in Cali? California. I haven't done much in English. I should though. Oh, Disneyland is in Cali, and Disney World is in Florida. Oh, that makes sense because Disney World, that's the one I went to in Florida. It has all like the kingdoms, like Animal Kingdom or some shit like that, whatever. What's a belief or value that you hold strongly, and how did you come to adopt it? Um, I don't know. I have lots of values that I hold strongly, but I would say one is that if I have the ability to help someone, I will. And I don't know. That's just something that my parents taught me. I've seen them help a lot of people, so for me, I always help people when I can, and not not for like some karmic shit. Like, oh, I hope this comes back to me one day. Like, I just do it. I don't expect it to actually come back. Disney World is bigger. Yeah, way bigger. Disneyland's cool though. Edwin, is there any words in English, or I should say, are there any words? I gotta speak grammatically correct. We gotta master bilingualism in the chat. Are there any words in English that you wonder about? Is there any slang that you hear in songs or movies or something, and you're like, I don't really know what this means? Cause I'm the slang master. I'll teach you all kinds of slang. Disney World is bigger, hella expensive now. Very expensive now. No, you can cuss. That's not even a cuss word. Has hella considered a cuss word? You know what's funny? I mean, you're from Cali, right? So this is not gonna mean anything to you. But when I was growing up, before the internet, I'm old as fuck. Uh, if someone said hella, you knew they were from Cali. Like nobody said hella except people from Cali. And then the internet, like the way the internet has like unified us all, you don't even know where someone's from just by their slang. Like people will say hella and they're not from Cali. People will say mad disrespectful, mad cold, and they're not from New York. When I was young, if someone said something was mad cool, oh, he's from New York. No one in the South says mad anything. Now they do. Mavericks to talk about people? In what sense? That's not slang. Mavericks are like that's a southern thing, but I don't know what sense you're hearing it. So do you know how old I am? Bro, you already said you were 10. I assumed you were telling the truth. You read it, but what I'm saying, what context did you read it in? Because the Maverick is, oh, I don't even know how to explain the Maverick, but it's not slang, really. We even have a basketball team called the Dallas Mavericks. Rob, you've heard of Mavericks. You just never heard it probably used outside of sports. I'm sure you heard of the Dallas Mavericks. One second. Dallas, yeah. Okay, so it said the Mavericks, hippies, etc. Yeah, but I need the full context of like why were they talking about Mavericks and hippies? Then I can tell you why they said Mavericks. So check it out. A Maverick, oh, is it a cattle? Yeah. Yeah. Stallion is a horse. A Maverick. So a Maverick is a young cow. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's a young cow. But we also, I'm not gonna say we because I would never use it. I thought it was like a horse. Oh, it might be a horse. It's a young something. Maybe it might be a horse. You might be on to something. But whatever. It's a young animal. We're gonna say it's a young animal. It could be a cow. It could be a horse. We don't know right now. But there's a context that people use it in to say that someone stands apart, which is also, it could be in the same class as a hippie because hippies are quote unquote independent thinkers, right? So they could have been saying it like that. Your ignorant slang. Eh, slang is it's very dependent on the region that you're in, right? Like people from up north are not gonna know the slang in my state unless they've been here before, unless they have friends here. So there's nothing wrong with having class-based, classroom type vocabulary. You'll be able to communicate with a lot of people. Does not that's probably supposed to be conform. Does not conform to the usual standards of a group or society. ChatGPT. I just started using ChatGPT. It's pretty good. It makes some mistakes sometimes, but it's pretty good. I don't think it should be a primary source for people, but I think it can facilitate some stuff and make it easier. But I've seen Google and ChatGPT just be straight up wrong. Like wrong. Like not even like, oh, this is subjective. Like, nah, straight up wrong. As a matter of fact, not to put him on the spot, but Rob, did you see in the chat when um when Big Will he put poniste instead of pusiste, right? I don't remember what I was Googling, but I was gonna show him on Google. And Google said that poniste was a word. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I clicked it, and then the link didn't say that. But the AI summary said that it was a word. And I was just like, how is it fucked up? Like, how is it doing that? I don't know where the AI even got the information to think that that was correct. I'm guessing that it just does patterns. And so it probably saw the pattern of Easter, and said, okay, yeah, this is a word. Once the preserve Mavericks? Okay. Wants to preserve Mavericks, hippies, and survivalists. There are now 200,000 off-grid households. Oh, okay. I said Poniste referred to my girlfriend. She corrected me real quick, but laughing at the same time. Yeah, because that's like it's a logical mistake, right? But also, you would basically sound like a little kid because it's like for in English, right? Like sometimes my students would say like, "I runned," and I'll be like, "You ran." Like it's just funny because it's just funny hearing it coming out of an adult's mouth because we learn that stuff when we're like 3 years old, right? So you just never expect to hear an adult voice say like, "I throwed it." I throwed it very far. Yeah, but Giselle, that's basically just saying like, once upon a time, only weirdos, Mavericks in that sense, we can call them weirdos. Only weirdos, hippies, people that are conspiracy theorists, they were the only people that had off the grid houses. Now they're saying 200,000 off the grid houses exist. So it's not just weirdos and hippies anymore. Jalen, do you feel your voice placement changes when you switch to Spanish? Um, I don't feel anything. That sounded really like dark and depressing, but I meant like I don't feel anything when I speak either language. Like I don't feel that my voice is different in either. But obviously like they are different, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know anything. But what do they mean by mavericks? They mean weirdos. They mean quote unquote independent thinkers, right? So like Rob said from the Chat GPT thing, someone that doesn't conform to the normal things in society. So we have people in the United States, and if you're one of these people, don't get offended. It's just the truth. We have people here that are like, I don't want electricity. I don't want running water because I don't want the government to have control over my life. And so they go live in the forest with no electricity, no anything. So that's what they're in this sense, they're saying a maverick was someone that did not live like the rest of everyone else. Like saying no couple. Yeah, Giselle, I don't know if you've ever heard the term that we use here, no sabo kids. Have you ever heard of no sabo kids? Because English has way more vowel sounds than Spanish does. Yeah, it does. Um, and that's really hard for people to understand, unfortunately. And I really feel bad for Spanish speakers that have to learn English as an adult because you will almost never make the same sounds as us. It's not impossible, but it's really hard because you're starting with this much and you're going to this range. Whereas at least for us, we're going from here and it's like just make this sound. All you have to do is make these five sounds. You don't have to do this anymore. But to go from only making this noise to going e, I, like totally different sounds. It would be like, like how a lot of the indigenous language, like they have like that TL sound, like the la, like I can't do it because I don't speak it, but we don't make that sound. So that would be like me starting to try to make that sound. It's just like, how do I do it? Like I've never done it before. I don't even know what that sound is. What is that word? There's a word in Spanish that's actually an indigenous word that's supposed to make that sound, but nobody makes that sound. But I can't think of the word. It's tough for my girlfriend, especially because I spend all my time with her learning and speaking Spanish. Yeah, I think that's the right way to go about it though, because she's in America. Like she's gonna get exposed to English, but it's a lot harder for you to get exposed to Spanish. So you should take you should be selfish and take all of that time to speak in Spanish with her Because like I said, I don't know what she does for work and whatever every day, but she has a bunch of chances to be exposed to English. You need to study the vowel chart. Is that a general you or a specific me? What vowel chart do I need to study? French. I don't know anything about French except, the first language I ever took in school was French. Why do I need to study the vowel chart? To recognize vowel pronunciation. What vowel pronunciation do I not recognize? You're confusing me. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, the first language I ever actually studied was French when I was a kid, but I just stopped. You said you don't notice the changes. Giselle, you're doing something that Edwin is not doing. Edwin said, "Do you feel your voice placement changes?" I don't think Edwin knows as much about language as you do. So I think you think voice placement is maybe something different than Edwin. The way I understood his question was like, for example, I have, or even my wife, her voice is a lot higher when she speaks Spanish than when she speaks English. I didn't understand his question as actually talking about that stuff versus do you feel your voice changing? I don't think he knows the stuff that you're talking about. She's, that's because you're not aware of the. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna study a vowel chart. Because her mouth has to be open wider in Spanish and English. That doesn't make your voice higher because I know people whose Spanish voices are um, deeper than their English voices. And actually, that will also depend on what part of the United States you're from, because uh, she's from a place in America where they really pronounce their words. I'm not. I'm from a place where we don't. We got the Southern drawl. Free Diddy, bro. What's your problem, dog? What is she actually saying? Honestly, I don't 100% know what she's saying. She's talking about something really complex. Like I said, I don't think that's what Edwin was talking about because we're not professors. Pisces got those high ass ratatouille voices. Yeah, they really do. It's heavy stuff talking about frontness and blackness and roundness. Yeah, Giselle, you know what? You and Rolando, you guys are like, how do I say this in a nice way? I'm not gonna say it. Oh, backness. Well, what I was gonna say is if Rolando was in here, I would tell him this too, because he does this all the time. He gets like zoned in on something and he just keeps going, and everyone in the chat is like, what the fuck is Rolando talking about? Because none of us know. And so anything that you're explaining, we don't know what you're talking about. So you ever see, I don't know, Giselle, I don't know how much stuff you watch in English, but we have like a trope in TV shows where like a nerd is just talking and talking, and everyone's just like, okay, now say it in English, because we don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then they're like, oh, okay, basically this. And everyone's like, oh, okay. That's what's happening right now. No one in the chat knows what you're saying. I don't even know what you're saying. I'm like reading what you're saying, and I'm just like, what are we talking about right now? Yeah, you know what? Sometimes for really smart people, I feel like to be extremely intelligent, you have to be lacking in some other places. And sometimes that's the ability to pick up on cues, sometimes social cues. Sometimes you don't know. Like I said, like I know people like that in real life too, just because of like the jobs that I work, especially in military intelligence. Sometimes I have to tell them like, hey, if you can't explain it to a 5 year old, you need to learn how to say it better. The social stuff is hard to me. That's normal. Like you said, if you're a nerd, you can't have it all, man. You can't have amazing social skills, amazing intelligence, amazing physicality, amazing this, amazing that. People get some stuff, people get other stuff. This guy Jalen a genius. I'm not a genius. Definitely not. See what I was blessed with, and I don't even want to say blessed because a lot of it is learned. I'm the opposite. I can teach anything to anybody because I'm good with social stuff. I asked because your voice sounds deeper in English and smooth or softer in Spanish. I think it depends. You know what? I usually speak deeper if I'm chilling, super chilling. Like right now, I'm chilling, right? And I'm super comfortable. But when I'm outside of my house, I actually don't even speak this deep because it's when I was younger, people are like intimidated by deep voices, and I'm already like a muscular dude, so I always try to put people at ease, and I speak to them softly. Like when I'm training my clients, I don't talk to them like with this deep voice, like "Come on, you can do it." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, no, no, it's great, great job, great job." That's why I talk like that because it's more reassuring to people. So, but it could be that my English voice is deeper. One time, someone actually told me my Spanish voice was a lot deeper. So that's actually interesting that you said that. And it's not like I can actually seriously analyze it because it's like you can't do a study without it being a blind study, right? Because you'll have a bias. If I want my Spanish voice to be deeper, I'm gonna start talking deeper. Or if I want my English voice to be lighter, I can just literally make it lighter. Her and Big Will would have some interesting conversations. They actually would. The thing is, if you, Alice, or is that supposed to be slice? You put Alize. If you slice your head in half, left and right, and you see the inner parts, you can put a square and divide it into front, center, back, up, and down. That's it. No. What is the no for? Why is my screen frozen? Hold on a second, y'all. What's going on? Is my screen black for y'all too, or is it just black for me? Okay, I think it's working now. I have no idea what just happened. Jalen being humble, I swear he's never not known an answer to anything. That's not true. That's not true. See, the thing about me is I only answer stuff that I know. If I don't know, then I'll just say I don't know. Or I'll just refer it to somebody else. Axa can tell you. Like, I don't argue about stuff if I don't know it. I'll just be like, maybe. I don't know. Rolando, I was just talking about you, bro. I was basically saying you're autistic, but in like a good way though. I literally said if Rolando was here, I would tell him to his face, but he's not here right now. out though, not me. I don't know anything. All I know is that I don't know anything. And that's basically everything. So do I know everything? Not really. Giselle's like giving us uh psychology fucking homework talking about right and left hemisphere parts of the brain and shit. Hamlet and Socrates said the same. Where you think I got it from? Where you think I got it from? We need to just like, basically, we need to make Rolando and Giselle argue with each other and then just like scoot them over to the side and go back to chatting. How did autism come up? Basically, someone asked me a question and then Giselle went on like I don't even have a name for the topic of the rant because I don't know what she was talking about. Giselle went on let's say, a speech pathologist rant. That's what I'm gonna call it. We'll say linguistic. She went on a linguistic rant about something that I don't think that the person asked. I froze. Tell me when I unfreeze so that I don't waste my breath talking. Or maybe I'll never unfreeze. I wonder if my Wi-Fi like broke or some shit. I'm gonna wait for Rolando to tell me that I'm unfrozen. You can hear me, but you can't see me? Or you can hear me and see me. Giselle says yes. Oh, all good. Okay, I was about to say, I don't know what yes is to. Okay, I'm unfrozen. Okay, so. Yes, Rolando, she pulled a Rolando. That's exactly why I brought you up. I literally was saying that you guys are the same in the sense that, like, you'll go on a crazy rant, and I'll just be like, bro, that's not even what we were talking about. Like, what did that even mean? But I was saying that the good Lord above blesses some people with excess amounts of intelligence and obsessiveness, and he just takes, he grabs the little social skills and he just rips it right out, and he says, "You don't get none of that." And he might have plucked a feather or two out of the bird of social skills that was sitting on your shoulder. It all started with something about the voice. Yeah. See, I don't even want to say it again because Giselle might start ranting again. So that's why I'm scared to say it. All right. We're just going to leave that in the past. I'm scared. It usually starts like that. Yeah. Yeah. Normally that's Rolando's job. Normally Rolando's like ranting in the chat about like fucking ancient Rome and shit. And we're like, what the fuck? Or Catholicism. Rolando's game is Latin. What do you call that shit? Christian apologist and randomly stuff about Muslims. Bro, I'm not doing anything. They got me rolling. This is what I like though. I like these conversations. It's very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. And like I said, in my line of work, when I was in the military, I dealt with people like that all the time. So it doesn't like bother me or anything. It's just funny. I went to school with this dude. I'm not gonna say his name because he's a bitch. He actually got me in a lot of trouble. But before he got me in a lot of trouble with his snitch ass, this dude is so smart that I would like show him off like he was a fucking AI robot or something, and I'll be like, "Hey, yo, bro, who was the 13th president of the United States? And he would just rattle that shit off. And I was, but who was the 26th president of the United States? And he would just, I'd be like, what was the third largest mass casualty battle in the United States? And he'll be like, well, actually, it was blah blah blah. And I'm just like, how the fuck do you know that, bro? That's like that was his game, though, bro. He was just like an encyclopedia. I don't know if he had a soul. He couldn't socialize at all, but that dude was insanely smart. Like he ended up writing books and doing like some very important research. But like I said, he's a bitch. Inshallah, I'll introduce new topics. Doubt it. You know, Rolando, remind me. You could text me right now if you want to, or you could just wait till I get off stream. I meant to send you this video earlier. I sent it to AXA, and it was actually about why speaking Spanish is important for a Hispanic identity. It was a really good video. It was a dude ranting. And I'm gonna say he probably has autism too. He was ranting for about 5 minutes straight about how you do need to speak Spanish for a Hispanic identity. I traded my iPhone 12 for a 16. Ooh, he got money. My boy done came up. I think I got a I keep saying iPhone 14 Pro Max. So you like two versions past me, bro. How does it feel being in the upper echelon training for Jeopardy? I mean, nah, that dude would have waxed everybody on Jeopardy, bro. I'm telling you, like, I don't. I can confidently say I don't think I've ever met anyone like that besides him in my life. I know some smart people, but they're usually like reasonably smart. Like they're incredibly intelligent because they put like 15 years into their profession or something. Not just an encyclopedia of all US knowledge. Like that's weird. It was a trade, didn't pay nothing. Yeah, this dude definitely prostituted himself or something. You can't trade something lower value for something higher value. That doesn't make sense. Or you just traded your phone in and got money and you put it towards paying for a 16, is what you're saying. And you're making monthly payments. Because there's no way. It's like those videos when they're like, man, there was some weird dude over there that said he would give me an iPhone if I gave him a blowjob. And then like they like wipe their lips and then they make a call on their iPhone. That's you right now, bro. Definitely don't believe you can trade a 12 and get a 16. My plan said I can swap it. Yeah, they tricked you, bro. Your monthly payment went up, or you might have signed your soul over to Satan when you signed. Did you have to sign something? Did you read what you signed, bro? You're probably going to hell now. Do you remember those Obama phones? Yeah, I think they still exist. I don't use iPhone. That's a uniquely non-American experience. If you did that here, if you didn't use an iPhone in America, we would bully you. I remember when I was living in Colombia, I never seen so many non-iPhone users in my life. I was like, this is crazy. Actually, I don't know if Axel's listening, but we were we were eating with a friend. No, we weren't eating. We were at dance class, and she pulled out her phone. Like I wasn't even trying to be funny. I was like, "What is that?" I still don't know what kind of phone that shit was. It wasn't even an Android. It was like a phone I had never seen in my life. And she laughed because it was funny, but I was just like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I've never seen that phone before. Unnecessary extra money for a phone. I feel you. But unfortunately, in America, the peer pressure will get to you. Our standards of living, like our We just live in excess. Everyone, see, Axel remembers that shit. Everyone has a house that they haven't paid off. They have a car that they haven't paid off. They have a phone that they haven't paid off. Like, that's like the American lifestyle. I remember when I first learned that other countries didn't have credit systems. I was like, what the fuck are we doing, man? What are we doing? I got a feeling those Obama phones were used as trap phones, of course. Of course. Nah, that day was so funny. A phone with no internet nor credit. That's the kind of phone you use? Yeah, that's crazy. That's for drug dealers. If you had that phone here, I would instantly say she sells drugs, for sure. 100%. 100%. D says absolutely. I don't know what the absolutely was responding to. The excess or that Giselle is a drug dealer. Jalen, what phone you said you got? I'm not telling you, bro. You about to try to bully me on the internet. I'm not about to let you join on my phone, bro. Now that I know you got the 16, I got a 16 too, bro. What's up? My brother has the latest always. I get it. You use the drug dealer phone and you give him the latest one. You pay for it with your drug money. Smart. That way the cops see you and they say, she doesn't have an iPhone. She's not in the business. Throwing them off your trail. That's the way to do it instead of having everything fancy. Then they know. Whew. 9:49. I think I'll stay on until 10:15-ish. Y'all are talking a lot, so I'm feeling pretty entertained. If you ask me if I want an iPhone, I'll tell him to get me a house instead. That's a big difference. A house and an iPhone. I would take the house over the iPhone, but I think it'd be more reasonable to afford. What do you mean not here? What kind of house costs the same price as an iPhone? That shit is a mud hut. Ain't no real house costing the same price as an iPhone unless somebody lied to you about how much iPhones cost. Or unless you got a different definition of a house. I don't know. The initial, like a down payment on a house for how much money? See, this is why I'm about to just like, you know what I need to do? I need to buy a house over there and like use it as an Airbnb and just charge like Americans to stay in it. Then I'll be rich. Too easy. Depending on what Giselle says right now, I'm about to go buy me a house in Colombia. There's no way. I'm gonna sell my iPhone and buy a house. I guess it depends on where the house is too. I'm not trying to buy nothing in the slums, you feel me? Nelson, what's up, bro? How you doing? Nelson, we up in the chat talking about everything, man. Giselle said, okay. What are you saying okay to? Okay to me selling my iPhone and buying a house? I need to know how much this house costs, Giselle. The whole house is 9 million pesos. I don't believe that. There's no way. Or that's the down payment. You're saying that's the down payment. There's literally no way. Nah, Giselle, send me the listing on WhatsApp. I don't believe you. Pretty good. You doing okay tonight? Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I had a long day. I drove to Austin and back. I worked out in Austin. I yeah, I've been on the move today. Hey y'all, we about to go. Let's all just go buy houses in Colombia. Jaden, have you ever been to Spain, or would you go if you could? You know what? I went to Spain when I was a kid, but I didn't speak Spanish, so I went. I would have been like 10 years old probably when I was living in Germany. When we lived in Germany, we would go everywhere. So we would just go to Paris. We went to Barcelona. Oh, the iPhone is 9 million. Oh, okay, okay. But how much is the house? Because you saying that like you could get a house for the same price as the iPhone. I'm like, there's no way. No way. No way. No way. But to answer the second part of that question, would I go if I could? I mean, I think Axa says she wants to visit Spain. I think we'll go to Spain. I don't really care for I don't really care for Europe, man. I think I lived there for too long, and I'm just like unimpressed with Europe. All parts of Europe, I'm just unimpressed. I think it gets a lot of hype. I'm not saying Europe sucks, but I think it's overhyped. Like I don't know if there's any Parisians in the chat. I'm not trying to piss anybody off, but Paris smells like piss, dog. Just like New Orleans and New York City smell like piss. Because it's a city full of tourists that are drinking beer and pissing everywhere. So to me personally, what I like what I like are experiences. I like the fact that we could go to Will's house in Colombia, the fact that we could go to his family's parties and stuff like that. That's what I liked. I would not have liked to like go to Bogota and like do something a tourist would do, or Medellin and like do a tourist experience because that shit is geared towards tourists. It's like American stuff, you know what I mean? It's like being in New York City but in a different country. So for me, that's not very fun. Being surrounded like by Americans. I'm like, I could have went to Seattle for this shit. I could have went to New York City. You know what I mean? So if I did go to Spain, I would try to find someone before I went. I would like try to make a friend in like the 6 months or something before I went and been like, yo, I'm gonna be coming to Spain. Let's get let's get to know each other, let's get acquainted. And when I get out there, I want you to take me to some shit that like a tourist would never do. Like take me to, I don't know, your family's party or something. You know what I mean? Like for example, like okay, if someone came to the United States, let's say they came to Texas, right? And it's they're visiting Texas. What they could do is they could go to Dallas, they could go to Houston, they could go to Austin, and they could visit monuments and they could go to San Antonio and go to the Riverwalk. That's what all tourists do. But we also have stuff that a tourist would probably never do that would really be cool. You know what I mean? Like you could take them to a rodeo. A rodeo is gonna be sick, bro. They're gonna be like, yo, this shit is crazy Texas culture. Take them to a football game. Take them to something that's even cool for us to do. Cause like in reality, we don't do tourist shit because we live here. Like I know people in Seattle that have been to the Space Needle like one time ever. But everyone's like, oh, I want to go to Seattle and do the Space Needle. If you live there, it's really not that cool. I'm trying to think of shit in Texas that people like to do. I guess the Riverwalk. Like I've been to the Riverwalk like 2 times ever, and I lived in San Antonio. You literally avoid those places because it's full of tourists. I'm like, I'm not going over there, bro. So yeah, that's me. That's my rant about tourism. Oh, brother, Giselle, don't even, because Axe is about to come in the chat and say, "Oh my God, Seattle's so beautiful. That's my home, and it's the most beautiful place in the world. And at any time, you can look and you can see the mountain." I will say, has some views. Seattle is, as a city, garbage. No disrespect to homeless people. Homeless people are cool, but the motherfuckers is all over the street. Mad meth abusers, mad car break-ins. You can't leave your car anywhere in fucking Seattle. Your shit's gonna get broken into. You know, I made it so long without getting my car broken into in Washington. And then I came outside from work one day and my shit was just busted. And there was nothing taken from my car. I'm like, bro, what was y'all looking for? You just busted my window out for no reason, bro. But the nature aspect of Washington, I'm not a serious nature guy, so this means a lot coming from me. Washington is beautiful. There's a mountain called Mount Rainier that you can see from anywhere. Anywhere that you're standing in Tacoma, Renton, Seattle, you look and you see this big ass mountain. It's like you're looking at a painting in the sky. It's beautiful, I won't lie. You wake up in the morning and you're like, damn, Mount Rainier. But like I said, the actual city, I avoided Seattle like my life depended on it. Maybe it did. I could send if any of y'all want to see videos um of random crimes in Seattle, like there's a page that I follow that's called Seattle Looks Like Shit, and it's just the crimes that happen in and around Seattle every single day. Like it's insane. It's insane. Axa must not be listening because she definitely would have contributed to this conversation because she loves Seattle with her entire heart because she grew up there. And we almost moved back there, but I can't. That place sucks, bro. And it's insanely expensive, which is why we left in the first place. Like the rent, like $2,400 for the little bitty apartment that we were in. The gas is always fucking $5 or $6 a gallon. Like the other day, Axa just filled up the car with $33, and she was like, "I can't believe this. It only took $33 to fill up the car." And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, because we're not in Seattle." I used to be pissed, bro, filling up my shit for work in the morning. I'm like, fucking $90, bro. I don't even have a big car. I got a little ass car. Like, ugh, pisses me off. All kinds of stupid shit. Valet trash at our apartment. Like, we didn't ask for that shit. I'm like, bro, I couldn't take the trash out myself. Nope. You have to let them take it out. Oh, brother, Axel's here. She's about to go. She's about to start talking about Seattle. She ain't gonna talk about them homeless people though. Miami's getting crazy expensive. I mean, Miami's Miami though. Like, I don't know. All big cities are expensive. So I don't even like big cities. So I'm just not a big city fan. Axel's Spidey senses came on. She heard Seattle and turned her shit on. I thought she was asleep or something. Transportation. Sometimes you say some funny shit. Are you talking about public transportation? You know, I think that's the funniest thing about language. Like, there's some things that sound funny unless they have another word with them. Like, you can only say public transportation. If you just say transportation, I'm like, why are you talking so fancy for? So, are you talking about public transportation? Or are you talking about catching Ubers? The only public transportation I ever been on was in New York City. You are fancy. I'm talking about the bad kind of fancy though. There's good fancy that's like, oh, this person has refined taste in fucking wine or some shit like that. But then there's like this fucking guy. That's all. He's just like this fucking guy, bro. Like, why are you talking like that? That's what I think when people, not you, because you're not a native speaker, but there are native speakers that intentionally use words that everyone else doesn't use, and we're just like, why are you doing that, bro? You just read a fucking thesaurus before this conversation. You do not talk like that. Oh fuck. I'm trying to think of, there's certain words that I can't think of any right now, but there's certain words that people use and I'm like, why are you doing that, bro? Why are you doing that? Yeah, but Giselle, you get a pass. You get a pass. Because yours is not on purpose. Moreover, yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. But no one would even say that in real life. That's what I mean. If someone said that in real life, I would have to assume that they were joking. I'll say, okay, that was funny. Like, that was funny. But no one's ever going to say moreover. You write it in an academic paper. But I think I would actually bust out laughing if someone said moreover in a conversation. Like straight up, I think I would laugh in their face. That's what I'm saying. That's one of those words where I'm just like, you're not serious. Like, I just be like, get out. I've never heard anyone say it. That's what I'm saying. It's not a word that we would ever say. It's only something that you would use like to try to make the word count in an essay. You're like, moreover, this is why the US is failing in their policies. But it's literally just not something that we would say out loud ever. Rob, you weren't here. I don't know if you weren't here at all yet, or if you just weren't there on that stream. But I was trying to tell Giselle one day that we don't say that. Like it's even funny. Like it's hilarious if you say it because we don't talk like that. And at first, I don't think she believed me. I think she believes me now. Unless reading in a story or textbook. Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of words like that that we just, you like know it. If you read it, you'll be like, okay, I know what that means. But it's like only for poetry or something. I wouldn't be able to bring myself to say that in real life. Cause like why would I say that? Another one that's not quite the same, but it's like a giveaway that they're a Spanish speaker is when they say for that reason. Cause I'm just like, I would just say so. I tried to tell my students that on Thursday. Was that Thursday? Yeah, on Thursday. They were like, how do I say por eso? For that reason? And I'm like, you can if you want to. I would just say so. Like, I'm not gonna say for that reason. For that reason, I did not go. See, X is laughing at moreover. It's just funny. It's funny as fuck. You know, Americans have a unique history too. I actually had to break this down to somebody on Twitter the other day because they said Americans were dumb as fuck and they think British accents are funny. How's that funny? No one else in the world thinks it's funny. And I'm like, we have a unique situation where the country that colonized us, right? The country that we separated from still exists and we are taught history about them and they still exist, right? This isn't ancient Rome or some shit like that. They're still around. So your first ever exposure to their accent is like a TV series or some shit like that. It's people pretending to be them. They have wigs and powdered faces and they're like, whoa, I would blah blah blah. And then one day you hear a British person talk, you're like, holy shit, people talk like that in real life? Like that's real? People actually talk like that? No one else has that because the former empires don't exist anymore. You know? So those kind of words are also attached to that accent and to that history. Like we have all of this old ass poetry with words that we would never use, you know. Giselle says that's why. That's why it could be, but sometimes that won't fit. Like that won't fit the sentence. Spain exists. Yeah, it does, but it's not quite the same. Especially because, you know, like I said, most media is American dominant. But yeah, no, I mean that is a similar example. But I think similarly, a lot of Spanish speakers like you see I see TikToks every single day that's like, why the fuck do Spaniards talk with that lisp, right? It's like it's kind of outrageous because it's so different to how you talk. So it's like the same thing. Some words are highly recommended in books, so people who learn from books just learn them. Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I get it. There's so many words that I learned in books as a kid that probably at the time I didn't know that no one says. But like I said, like you have enough conversations and people are like, what the fuck does that mean? And you actually will phase it out of your vocabulary because of that. You're like, nobody knows what this word means. Why would I keep saying it? Like you should, like, words are supposed to be for communication. So if you're talking to people that don't understand the words that you're saying, you're not doing a good job of communicating. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're smarter. If you can't communicate your thoughts, then you're not actually being smart in the moment. If you learn a language on the street and then try to fit fit in an academic environment, you'll look weird also. Yeah, but I mean that would depend on who you learn from. Like there's people in the street that speak like hoodlums and there's people in the street that talk like me. If you talk like me, you'll be fine in an academic situation. But most people, like, you have to me, you have to go out of your way to find like hood media. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna just stumble across you're not gonna just stumble across people that speak so badly um that like in an academic situation they'll be like, oh my god, why are you talking like that? Like, you know. But also, if you just learned on the street, you probably wouldn't be in an academic situation because what academic situation are you going from learning on the street to just jumping into an academic situation? You probably just wouldn't be doing that. It's like the overuse of por favor when foreigners speak in Spanish. Yeah, that's not even just a Spanish thing. That is an American thing. Because we get shit about that in other countries too. And like in English, people say that Americans say please too much. Or yeah, please. I was like, please? Thank you too. We say thank you like way too much. I say thank you every single time something happens. My waiter is like, I'll take that from you. I'm like, thank you. And he's like, and your glass? Oh, thank you. And he's like, and do you want anything else? No, thank you. And I just keep saying thank you like 10 times. It's like a very uniquely American thing too. And people get pissed about it. And I'm like, all right, bitch, I'm not going to thank you for anything else anymore. But yeah, I mean, everything's cultural. Have a good one. Why did you put, why did you put have a good one? That was random. Driving me crazy in Chicago. Why is have a good one? Why is that driving you crazy? That's polite. That's manners. Everyone in that city. I thought you said you liked Chicago, or did you not say that? Okay, I'm really getting off at 10:30. I'm not staying on longer than that, for real, for real. Because they just say it all the time. Everyone says have a good one. That's just a normal thing to say in English. Just too much. What does that mean? There's no, there's no excess amount of saying have a good one, because it's positive. In fact, they probably were like, "The fuck is wrong with her? Why didn't she say have a good one?" And I know a Colombian is not talking about people doing too much, because y'all motherfuckers don't know how to just say thank you. You guys have to say like all of this shit about the virgin and God bless you and all of this stuff. I'm like, bro, just give me my fucking food and stop talking. Just say thanks or you're welcome or whatever you were gonna say. Colombians, no, way too much. We say it here. I say it too. It's normal. Oh yeah, 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 super normal. You know, I got a little problem with authority, right? A little problem with authority. And that used to piss me off when I was a kid. Cause there's like a certain way that they say it in the South. Like you can say, "Hey, have a good one," but a lot of men in the South are like, "All right, you have a good one now." And I'm like, bro, who you telling to have a good one? Like I have a good one if I want to, bro. Like don't be, you know, don't be trying to force me to have a good day. Have whatever kind of day I want to, bro. Yeah, I got blessed way too many times in Colombia. The Virgin has accompanied me everywhere. Jalen, are you ever coming back to your favorite place, Seattle? I'm gonna just pretend like you didn't say that. But yeah, eventually I'll be back up there. I think I'm gonna be up there in Thanksgiving, right, Axel? Sometimes I wanted to ask a good what? A good day. You have a good day. But we don't have to say day because you know it's a day. You just have a good one. So maybe you ain't gonna have a good day, but you gonna have a good night. So you have a good one, all right? Down yonder. You don't know how to use yonder. You're not from the South, bro. You know, actually, that's a great example, right? My family's country is fuck. So, like, talking like that is, like, not crazy to me. But I'm pretty well traveled. I've lived in a lot of different places. There's a lot of things like that that have been phased out of my vocabulary uh, because when I'm talking to someone that's not from the South, they're like, there's no fucking way that you use that word. And I'm like, what? Okay, what I missed, I did a software update. It took a little while. Nothing. We did like a $10,000 giveaway. Everyone in the chat, I gave them $2,000 each, but you weren't here, so. When she first said have a good one, I thought she was bouncing. I did too. If she wouldn't have put the quotations mark, I just thought she was leaving. I won. What did you win? Oh, the $2,000. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone won $2,000. Giselle, you want to know something funny? What is her name? I'm blanking. That John asked me why I type HAHA. She's like, what? She's looking at it and she's like, ah. And I'm like, no, it's ha 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 ha. Over yonder. Oh, almost broke my phone. Over yonder. Yeah, there's a lot of words that I phased out of my vocabulary. Some of them are Southern, some of them are old Southern. You know, like a lot of us growing up said the commode, you know. But I realized lots of people outside of the South don't know what a commode is. They only say toilet. And so I stopped saying commode. Even though commode is more normal for me to say. I feel weird saying toilet. But I'm like, whatever. Like I said, the goal of communication is to be understood. If every single time I say something, you're like, what? What is that? What does that mean? We're not really having a good conversation. So I basically don't say commode anymore. And there's a bunch of other little things that over the years you just kind of phase out. Another one too, because my dad's side of the family is from Louisiana, right? And in Louisiana, it's pretty much the only state where we say make groceries. I actually thought I was playing, but we say make groceries. That's a normal thing to say. Nobody else says that. And so you just, if you're not in Louisiana, you just stop saying it because you just get tired of people being like, make groceries. You can't make groceries. Like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying, bitch. So, little stuff like that. Or like book sack. I think everyone says book bag except us. They say, what is that? Soap? Soap. Did you just call me musty? That's crazy. That is insane. I'm always clean. I'm cussing. I mean, I'm not 3 years old, so I can cuss. You know, my parents don't cuss at all. So I have like two personalities because I've never cussed in front of my parents before. But if I'm not in front of my parents, I'm a cussing machine, bro. Even at work, I be cussing my ass off, bro. So I would never work a job where cussing isn't permitted because that's my whole personality. Gotta be cussing. You know, after you worked, like 4 hours and you just like, fuck. Like, bro, imagine being at work and not being able to say that. Nah, I can't do it. I need to let out a fuck, bro. Gotta let out a fuck, bro. Yeah, you would get fired. But you know what? The good thing is that I can do that under the guise of teaching cuss words. Nah, but I wouldn't actually cuss as a teacher. That's one of those things where I wouldn't do that. So that's why I'm not a full-time teacher. I need to cuss. I need to have my daily spurts of cussing. But also, they wouldn't understand me if I cuss, so there would be no point in saying it. You need to understand what I'm saying to feel. Like, if you don't know what fuck, bro, if you don't know what that means, there's no point in me saying it because it doesn't express what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So, if you don't know what I'm saying when I say shit, then what's the point in saying it? I need you to know when I say shit. I also think it's amazing that the tone of a cuss word can totally change the meaning. Well, tones and everything change the meaning in English. And I didn't realize how difficult of a concept that was until I tried to teach students. Like, oh yeah, the way you stress that word actually changes the meaning of the word. You can't just say it like that. Daniela Munoz. Or is it Munoz? You're glad to see me? You said that like we're family members. How are you? So when I was just talking about tones, there's two different ways that tones can change a word, because we have the actual syllable that you stress, like project and project are two different words with two different meanings. But also the stress that you put on a word in a sentence. If I say he said that versus he said that versus he said that, those are three different sentences. And if you're a native English speaker, that's like obviously super easy to detect. But trying to explain that to someone that English isn't their first language is really hard actually to say, like, oh, no, no, no. If you say he said that, like the whole point is that he said that versus if he said that, you know what I mean? In terms Spanish language, what are some commonalities between Colombia and Honduras? Maybe Giselle can chime in, not Chilean. uh, yeah, go ahead, Giselle. Go ahead and put your superpower to use. Your superpower of ranting. I don't know how much commonalities they have though, besides both having regions where people use voceo. But the few people I know from Honduras, they got a extremely different vocabulary. Like I told you in the group chat the other day. That's why I was like, you gotta ask your girl about that one. It's voceo? What are you asking, bro? Oh, I get what you're asking. Voceo is like the usage of vos. You don't actually say voceo instead of vos. That's how you pronounce it. All right, you're gonna have to get real specific for me, Rob, so I can make sure that we're not losing each other. The thing is that slang is insane. Who's slang? Everyone's slang, or specifically someone's slang? Slang is always insane, though. The way we name things is so varied. I feel like that's every language. Like I said, like there's certain words that I just wouldn't say if I was outside of Texas, because like our English is totally different than English up north. Someone on Twitter really pissed me off the other day, and they were trying to tell me that like they're British. So I'm like, first of all, shut up because you're British. Second of all, he was trying to tell me that the English in every single state was exactly the same, and I'm like, you've never been here before, bro, because our slang is totally different in every single state. It's every single state is different. I think I've told you guys where I'm from, going live is oral sex. So that's why I bust out laughing every time this thing turns on and it says Quick Temper's going live. Because I'm like, oh my God. But nobody else says that though. So it's like, you know, every region and every language has its own slang. But to me, that's not like what Giselle just said. She doesn't understand everyone speaking Spanish. To me, people say that doesn't happen in English, but it does. If you ever met anyone in the bayou, if you ever met anyone in the country parts of Texas, if you ever met any Appalachian people, if you're not from there, or if you don't have experience with those accents, even an English speaker will not understand them. Like, it's funny. I don't know if y'all seen the Water Boy. I'm sure Rob has. I don't know if Giselle's seen the Water Boy. I didn't know that people didn't understand the dude when he said homeboy Mike. I thought, I don't know. It was never funny to me. I didn't find out that it was funny until later when people were like, yeah, the dude that's speaking gibberish. And I'm like, what dude speaking gibberish? And I realized that people didn't know what he was saying. So like the whole joke was like, oh, you like to see homos naked? I never understood why he said that. I literally, as a kid, I'm like, that was weird. But I realized later that the joke was that people can't understand that dude. But if you're from that area, it just sounds like a normal dude talking. Happy birthday, Quits. It's not my birthday. Well, that was weird. No es mi cumpleaños. You talking down on the UK reminds me of Ari Spears hating on British rap. No, don't compare me to Ari Spears, first of all. Second of all, I respect the British. I said, shut up, you're British, because you can't chime in on our culture. That's why I said that. Keep in mind, I'm very fond of British people. I went viral for having the best London accent impression in the world. I also made music with people from the UK. I still have music on YouTube and on SoundCloud with people from the UK. Dominicans, yeah, they're a different level. They're a different level. But they also use like a lot of words that other people don't use. Should I stay on, guys? I was gonna get off, but it's like the combos are so interesting. Maybe I'll wait for a dry period. Maybe I'll wait until Rolando goes on a rant and then just end the live right in the middle of his rant. How do I find that article again? Do I type American does British accent? I can't remember, bro. It was GRM Daily that made the article, which is like a big music channel out there. And it was like, meet Quick Temper, the man behind the best London accent impression. But, bro, that shit was like 10 years ago. I remember the last time I looked at the article, like the link was broken. It's so old. I think I just still have a screenshot of it. But like, I don't know what happens, but like the internet decays, bro. There's a lot of stuff that I used to frequently visit on the internet. That sounds like I'm talking about porn. I'm not talking about porn. There's a lot of stuff that I used to frequently visit on the internet. And one day I'll just go back and it just doesn't exist anymore. And I'm just like, what? Like, and I'll never be able to see it again. There's a lot of YouTube videos that are just gone now. A lot of things on the internet that are just straight up gone now. There's no way to find them. And sometimes I'll even go on forums and people are like, what happened to that one video? Does anyone have this video anymore? And everyone's like, that shit's gone, bro. Unless someone has it saved on their phone. No, Giselle, it's not about being strict. It's just sometimes, like, for example, MySpace, right? I remember the last time I logged into MySpace, like half of the pages were gone and stuff, and it wasn't about strictness. It was, they said they had like some kind of bug when they upgraded stuff. Like a lot of profiles were like too old and they didn't make it through to the next whatever, right? So my profile still existed, but there was so much stuff that was gone, like my bio and stuff. My bio just said like, hi, I'm Jalen. It was nothing like crazy. Like the music that I had on my page was gone. So it just, like I said, with time, just certain stuff it literally just disappears. So, and sometimes, like, for example, like my personal training and stuff, I have to pay for that domain. I have to pay for that website every single month. If I stop paying for the website, everything that's on there will cease to exist. You know what I mean? It will be somewhere, but you won't be able to access it. And so maybe let's just say like I'm like, I'm done doing online training. I'm not gonna pay for this anymore. someone will try to click on my link in my bio and it'll say this doesn't exist. It's not because it's like strict content or something. It's just because there will be no upkeep for it. It'll just be gone. There's actually a digital archive though of like, oh man, I think they just did a documentary on it, but I've been using it for a long time actually. I like to watch TV shows from like the 70s and stuff. And there's this lady that recorded everything that came on TV for like 30 years straight. And they're taking her VHS tapes and uploading it to the internet. So there's an internet archive of like, you could watch like debates and stuff from the 70s that you won't be able to find anywhere but there because she recorded it on TV and it doesn't exist anymore. Or like Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network just ended. And you go on Cartoon Network now, shit doesn't exist. You click on Cartoon Network, it's nothing. It's really crazy. Just literally in one day, they were just like, goodbye. My Facebook profile was just a bunch of rock bands. My Facebook profile was Soulja Boy songs. No, watch me. Ooh. I think the last song that I probably put on my page was "Yeah, bitch, yeah." Hey, Soulja Boy, can I? Yeah, bitch, yeah. Pero conoces a AXA. ¿Quién es Daniela? Daniela Muñoz. No te conozco. Cartoon Network's done, yeah, bro. One day they literally were just like, goodbye, everybody. Just dipped, bro. There's another one too. I can't think of what network. No, it wasn't 5 years ago, Giselle. It was like this year. They might have been in the works of shutting it down, but I mean, like, they cleared everything. And actually, there's like some archive of Cartoon Network stuff. Like, whoever bought them, like somebody bought their stuff, Disney, somebody. So you can go on one of these apps and watch Cartoon Network stuff. But Cartoon Network, I believe the website and like everything attached to it is gone now, which is crazy. Like I said, it's very, very crazy. But there's a lot of stuff like that. Um, Lilo and Stitch, if you don't have the VHS tape, there's scenes that you can never see again because since it's digitized, digital, whatever the fuck you want to call it, there's some scenes that they changed. Like, for instance, if you really know Lilo and Stitch like that, there was a scene where Lilo hides in the oven from her big sister, and they had to change that scene. They literally remade the scene digitally where she's hiding in like a pizza box, like some weird shit like that. Like, but it's not an oven anymore because they said they didn't want kids like imitating that and like climbing in an oven. That's not a big deal. I don't really care. But at the same time, it's like they can do that with anything. There's so much stuff that you're never gonna see again if you don't have a hard copy of it. Oh, Rolando found the article. Well, if y'all want to read about my London accent impression that I went viral for, like that whole little thing actually kind of changed my life because I feel like half of all of my followers across all social media are British from when I boomed from that. Like, my Instagram probably had like 1,000 or 2,000 people on it, and like overnight I had like 7, 8,000 from that day. And my Twitter too. My old Twitter, I had like 20K followers because that video went super viral. Nah, Mandela effect having us. Well, Mandela effect who? No, what I'm talking about is real. I have the hard copy, bro. Now, what people be talking about with Shazam and stuff, I'm like, y'all are tripping. That doesn't exist, or someone will be able to prove it. They're also altering digital books. I mean, that's too easy. That doesn't surprise me at all. Nah, bro, that shit happened. That shit did not happen. You're crazy. Listen, bro, I can tell you for a fact why I know it didn't happen. As you all probably know, my last name is Shabazz, right? So since I've been a little kid, people have said, "Oh, Shabazz, like Shazam with Shaquille O'Neal," or they say like Shazam with whatever, and I'm like, it's Kazam, because I know, because I've been hearing it my entire life, right? And at some point in time, I don't know how people started saying like, "Oh, I remember a Sinbad movie with he was a genie." I'm like, nah, bro, you getting confused. And I don't know what people are getting confused. I don't know how that started happening. And then the thing that made it worse was College Humor did a prank, right? Where they got Sinbad to do a little skit where he was a genie. And he was basically just picking fun at the people that thought he was a genie before. And so now people take a screenshot of him in that skit. And they're like, I told you guys, this was from my grandma's house. I just watched it. And people, I'll just be like, play the video then. I bet you it's the College Humor video. And they're like, well, I already left her house. I'm like, shut the fuck up. There's a conspiracy that Kendall was named that because book burnings are going to increase. That's a stupid fucking conspiracy. But it's an interesting coincidence. Could say that. D, he was not a genie, bro. He was not. And you know what my thing is too with the Mandela effect, bro? First of all, I'm like, the whole basis of the Mandela effect is stupid as fuck. It's like people that are like, what is it? They thought Nelson Mandela died at a certain time, where they thought he was still alive, or I don't even remember. But I just am like, bruh, the fact that the conspiracy theory is named after that should just make everyone go, you know what? This is a worldwide fact. Like, we know that this thing happened. So if you're doubting this worldwide fact, you're just crazy. You can't trust your memory. You can't trust your memory. Memories are not real. That's why two people can remember the exact same thing differently. That's why you can go to therapy and totally change how you see your childhood. Because every time you revisit a memory, it changes. You know? So all it takes is someone saying, remember that time? And you're like, oh yeah, that shit didn't happen. You know, the worst thing is, nah, I can't even tell you. But just know, like, this is a well studied thing. And military intelligence, this is something, you know. We know that we can alter the way people think about certain things. I'm not gonna really say more than that, but just know. Somebody starts trying to tell me, remember when? I'm like, nope, I don't want to remember. Don't talk to me. I just immediately start blocking it out. And what's worse is, if 20 people are telling you that it happened, you almost have no choice but to believe them. Your brain is like, nah, all of these people wouldn't be tripping. I think I do remember it. If you get a chance, you guys should look up. I don't know what the experiments were called, but if you go on YouTube and just type in, you know, just social experiments, and then type in conforming to the group, some stuff will pop up. No, it's not gaslighting, Rolando. Gaslighting is done intentionally. There's a difference between everyone being stupid as fuck and someone intentionally trying to make you feel like you're crazy. Have you seen the movie Gaslight? It's a very good movie, actually. MK Ultra, he thought it was a beer. No, that's a CIA bullshit in the military. But yeah, if you guys get a chance, Google social like social experiments with conforming to the group. You could have 20 people sitting down and have 19 actors and have one person, and you're asking very simple questions. And if the 19 actors confidently say, oh, yeah, easily A, the answer is A, that one person will go, yes, A. Even if they know for a fact that 3 + 3 is 6, if everyone, oh, yeah, it's 7, they'll be like, oh, shit, like, okay, yeah, it's 7. Because they don't know what's going on, you know? Giselle says no. Giselle always says no and yes and doesn't say what she's saying no or yes to. Ooh. Rolando, you should watch the movie Gaslight. That's where the term comes from. If you want, I can tell you what the movie's about. It's a old school movie. But basically, there's this woman, right? And there's a guy that's trying to hide some information from her. He's trying to get access to something, right? I don't want to give away the movie, but let's just say he wants to get access to her fortune and her family. So he's convincing her that she's crazy. He will put out lights and he'll say, "Ugh, you put out the light again." And she's like, "I did?" And he's like, "Yeah, who else would have done it? I wasn't here all day." Because he would sneak in and do it and blah, blah, blah. Or he would, like literally what we were just talking about. Like she would start trying to put stuff together and she'll be like, it all started that day with that letter that I found saying that you were, and he would stop her in the middle and he'll be like, exactly. It all started with that day with the note. I remember it. You were holding a piece of paper with nothing on it and saying that you saw words. And that's when I had to explain to you about your family's history of mental illness. And she'll be like, there was nothing on the note? And he'll be like, no, you always think there was something on the note. And so she's like, oh man, I'm fucking nuts. And that's why the term gaslighting is gaslighting. It's when you know that the person is not crazy and you're trying to make them feel crazy. Being stupid is just different. It's just you're just stupid. Most people use gaslighting in the wrong way, to be honest. And I hate when people misuse terms because then arguments become about the terms and not about what's actually happening. So it's like if I say like, oh, that's straw man fallacy, but I use it wrong, right? Then you're like, that's not what straw man fallacy is, it's this. And then we're arguing about that and we never even get to the end of the first conversation. So Zay says, que lo que la que hay. ¿Cuánto tiempo nos queda? Me voy. I was supposed to leave at 10:30. I don't even know how I'm still here. Because Giselle and Rolando start ranting about stuff, and then I'm like, I gotta join in. I gotta start talking. But I'm actually leaving. Zay always shows up in the last 30 seconds of the live. All right, anyone got any final words? You know what? D never said anything after he was a genie. I think he went crazy. I think he's on the internet right now searching like, this can't be true. He's like looking for the Sinbad movie. Most people misuse gaslighting. Isn't that semantic shift? Does that mean it means something else now? I mean, I guess eventually, but I guess the thing is, things take time to shift, right? If you if you say something wrong today, I have to say that it's wrong. Now, in 10 years from now, maybe people could say, like, this is when it started being this and whatever, you know what I mean? But today is wrong. So I can't say, like, let me just make up a random example. If you start calling a water bottle a pacifier, I have no choice but to say that shit is not a pacifier, bro. I don't care if your whole family says pacifier. That shit's not a pacifier. You might convince everyone in the region to start saying it, and eventually it might catch on. And 10 years from now, people will say, this shit used to be called a bottle. It's called a pacifier now. I'm going to say you're crazy still. Like, until it's widely accepted and everyone's like, fuck that old definition. I don't think people are doing it on purpose. They just don't know what they're talking about. What song did you end up doing for the Puerto Rican party like a month ago? Man, I can't even remember, bro. Where you been, dog? I can't remember. Did I even go to the party? Bro, I'm a capper, bro. Like, not the new definition of capper, the Texas definition of capper, bro. I be saying I'm gonna go somewhere and I just don't go. Like, nobody knows if I'm gonna be somewhere until I'm there, bro. Like, if I have a way to get out of something, I just be like, yeah, I didn't take a long enough nap. I need to stay home tonight. Or like if something's supposed to start at 8 and they be like, hey, we actually gonna start it at 9 now. I'm like, that means that shit's not gonna be done till 1. I'm already tired. Like, I might as well not go. And so I just don't be going to places. So I honestly, I don't remember if I don't think I went to the party, bro. Shazam was definitely with Shaq, but Sinbad. No, it wasn't. Shaq's movie's called Kazam, bro. It's not Shazam. That's what I'm saying, bro. Your memories they're all jumbled up, bro. There's a story about it. A chair is a char. Oh, you know what? There's a book too. Can't remember what it's called. When I think of it, I'll tell you. Man, what was I gonna say? We talked about gaslighting. We talked about semantic shift. Yeah. Rolando, like, hey, don't disrespect Shaq. First of all, he did his best. All right, he did his best. Let's see you act. Let's see your Shaq movie. Let's see you be a genie, Rolando. You don't even know how to be a genie, bro. You don't know how to grant wishes. Don't disrespect Shaq. That was a good movie for its time. Lots of movies suck when you go back and look at them. I don't recommend that y'all ever load Good Burger back up. I wanted to, can I say? I'm not going to say it. I wanted to end it all, bro. I cannot believe how horrible that movie was. Every funny movie when I was a kid, you go back and watch it and you're like, I'm about to jump. I'm about to jump off of the 3rd floor, bro. The worst one, I tried to show my wife Bloodsport, bro. Because when I was a kid, Bloodsport was crazy, bro. The craziest movie ever. Bolo was up in that joint looking Bolo. And then, bro, the scene, all right, this scene is whack as fuck now. But when I was a kid, the scene where he got the shit in his eyes and he's like, and then he like blocks the shit without looking. Bro, when I was a kid, I used to go tie the do-rag around my eyes, bro, and just be punching in the air like, yeah, bro, if I ever go blind, I'm gonna be ready. Man, I tried to show Axa that shit, and I was watching, I'm like, yeah, no, the good part's coming up. It's like, I'm like, this fight scene is pretty bad. It's a lot worse than I remember. And then it happened, and he got the shit in his eye, and he's like, and then he blocks the punch, and I'm like, wow, this shit's mad corny, bro. Like, I should have never reloaded it. You gotta just, you know how I was just telling y'all your memories are fake? Bro, let your memories be fake. everything that you remember that was good as a kid, keep it up here, bro. Do not go and try to confirm that shit because it is not going to be good, bro. Did you ever see The Last Dragon? Yeah. Your kids hated it? Yeah, bro. You just can't. That's what I'm saying. Like, some stuff you just gotta leave in the past. You gotta you gotta remember it for the good that it was. And the other thing too is like some stuff can only be good if you watch it as a kid. Like I have very fond memories of SpongeBob. There's like me and my wife, like we say SpongeBob references every single day. But if you were to watch SpongeBob as an adult for the first time, you're not gonna have that same fondness because you're an adult. It's not gonna be funny anymore. Like making the reference kind of takes you back to your childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, oh brother, like oh brother, this guy stinks. I say that like every single day, bro. Had I saw that scene as an adult, it wouldn't be funny. That shit was hilarious. There's so many SpongeBob references that I use on a daily basis. That, like I said, funny because I was a kid. Gotta watch it on Blu-ray. With the God. What is With the God? Oh, With the God. With the God must be crazy. I don't even think I know what that movie is. We still had the best childhood. I don't know what the hell now. Yeah, I be watching. Sometimes I be seeing their cartoons pop up and shit, and I'll be like, "This shit's whack, bro. Our cartoons are way better." Hey, baby, how have you been, my love? Whoever this is about to get blocked. The movie about the Coke bottle? I don't know. Never heard of it. The gods must be crazy. I'm gonna look it up. Did my comment pop up or was it censored? I don't know what your comment is, so I'm guessing it was censored. You forgot about me. I don't know who you are. Especially calling me baby. My wife gonna stab you to death. What was your comment, Rolando? Oh, the guys must be crazy. I know that movie. I thought she was talking about an American movie. I wasn't even thinking about that. The Shaq movie I was thinking about was Still sucked, bro. That movie was horrible. I gotta agree with you on that one. Man of Steel. Actually, I don't know. The guys must be crazy. I feel like I'm thinking of a different movie. I feel like I'm thinking of a comedy. I gotta go look it up. Y'all talking about some old people shit. My comment was the only movie I like from my childhood is Blood In, Blood Out. That's a good movie. It's a good movie. Yeah, but lots of movies, like I said, you gotta keep them up here because, like, Coach Carter, Remember the Titans, all of that shit, bro.
if you do any research about them, you'll be pissed. You'll be like, what? They made all this shit up, bro. You didn't like Mortal Kombat? I actually did like Mortal Kombat. But again, would I go back and watch it? Probably not. Oh, it was a comedy. I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, would I go back and watch Mortal Kombat? Probably not. But I have fond memories of it up here. There's a lot of movies that I think I'm very easy to please though. Like I watch movies and like it would have to be horrible for me to feel like disappointed when I get finished. I could watch like any movie and I'm like, that was straight. Apocalypto is timeless. That's always good. Mel Gibson's kind of a nutcase, but all right, y'all. I'm actually gonna get off at 11 o'clock, no matter what. Okay. When I watched the movie, you hadn't been born. You don't know when I was born. You don't know. You probably do, but you actually do. I just told you my birth year not that long ago. Well, you win this time. When we were kids, we used to say, "Don't act like you know me, like you know my middle name." But then, like people knew your middle name, and you'd be like, "Damn, I don't know what to say now." All right, 1 minute, y'all. When it's 11 o'clock, I'm clicking off. I don't care what y'all say. There's nothing that you can do to keep me on because I want some miso soup and I need to go make it right now. Any last words? Anything you want to say before I click off? Not having a middle name is crazy. God hates you. That's a question that takes a while to answer. I'm not gonna answer it. Did you see the vid I sent you of the Arab guy? I don't know. I don't remember it. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Bye. I'll see y'all next time.